The epic story of surviving in the global pandemic will give you chills while watching the movie. It is all about losing loved ones and finding them without knowing whether if they are alive or not. It adds spice to the story of love and hope when the main character is just a young boy with severe amnesia. He got separated from Emma with traces of lost memories with her. The movie opens with some disturbing visuals and a brutal suicide attempt of a young boy. In a moment of distress, it changes to a long, dark road where the couple is seen to be escaping a threat. Their phone beeps reveal a new type of virus spreading throughout the city, hence creating chaos. They are trying to get as far as they can, but the virus is even faster than their car speed. However, they win from the virus by escaping, but a brutal car accident follows. They hit a giant truck and everything went dark. The amnesic flashback of Ethan wakes him up from last night's terrible accident. He wakes up with some injuries, but not too deep, and a cast on his hand with his girlfriend's name on it. However, she is missing from his side, so with staggering walk and amnesic head, he moves out to search for her. He has blurry flashbacks from the past, but he still is hopeful to find her. He wanders here and there to find a way out and reach the road. But the rusty cars, ruined, abandoned buildings, and empty roads give him chills because this means that the virus was spread and washed the humans from the city. He finds a truck moving towards him and runs for help, but it turns out to be a threat. They point the gun at him, but luckily he is saved by an old lady named May. She finds him innocent and unarmed, so shoots the truck drivers immediately. They are nearly dead, and she asks for a hand to steal their stuff. However, Ethan blacks out while dragging a huge bloody body into the truck. The lady takes them to her place and takes care of Ethan until he wakes up. The dead bodies are taken care of, and new clothes and food are prepared for him. He gets flashbacks from a birdhouse which his girlfriend's mentioned in case they both get apart. The lady suggests him to keep his amnesia to himself only because people are looking for others' weaknesses. Also, she explains that it is some alienates trying to wipe humanity from the surface of Earth. Ethan is confused and roam around, trying to process the situation and help the old lady to fix her generators. They also try to make a connection together by May teaching him how to shoot and Ethan helping in household chores. They also drink, dance, and play cards as well, as May tries to normalize the situation, but Ethan's still in a hurry to find her girlfriend. He takes the car at midnight and searches for that bird's house. Besides the birdhouse, there is an abandoned house too, where a fearful lady has resided with her 10-year-old son. She points the gun at him, but he doesn't intend to harm them, so she gives up. Although she is still suspicious and asks about Emma. Obviously, she doesn't know any Emma. Suddenly, a walking monster jumps in and attacks through the broken door. They try to throw him out, but the strength and power is unmatchable. The lady pushes the door to lock him out and splits his 3 fingers in the struggle. However, it's not so easy to get rid of these plant-like zombies, so he strangles the lady through the broken door. Ethan tries to shoot the monster, but the gun is empty. Luckily, he finds a hammer and splashes head. This buys time, and the lady is saved. They throw him out, and the situation is calmed, but they can come back, so they lock the door and avoid loud noises. There are more monstrous plants than humans now. The lady introduced themselves and asked about the cast because it is impossible to get a fresh cast in this chaotic situation. He finally reveals that his girlfriend was a doctor and tries to save as many lives as possible from this deadly virus, so they decide to run from the city, thinking of escaping for a better life, but while they were a few miles away from the noise of the city, they had an accident. This birdhouse was their meeting point, but she is still not there. Also, the loveliest flashbacks hit his memory once he was with his girlfriend and fell asleep. The lady let him sleep and take the night's watch job. Ethan wakes up in shock when he sees a mess around. The lady is dead and soon to be turned to a monster. Her earbuds are giving birth to mini plants. He runs to save his life, but another monster is eating the lady's son. He tries to avoid the monster, but she begs for help, which shows that she is still turning. He couldn't even harm her, but a sudden shoot from behind makes her numb for a few minutes. May is back for help, and she buys them a little time to escape with these shots, as she knows that they can't be killed 100%. Ethan finds the plant bird with a sign same as her girlfriend's tattoo. Surprisingly, he finds a phone inside with his girlfriend's recorded video. He was waiting for some clue to find her, but the phone died in between. He screams in pain, but May shuts him up and talks about a charger at her place. Their truck has stopped moving because some idiot steals the battery. May mistakenly breaks her spectacles, which was very hard to get. Anyhow, they find a bicycle and ride home. On the way home, they talk about their personal stuff. Ethan tries to know her better and asks her story, but she seems to be an alone, depressed lady who can't trust anyone anymore. Her face has a mark, and she loses her husband in this virus. Nothing more she could reveal. She is so alone that she wishes to be dead by now, but Ethan calls it an overshare. Walking by the empty roads and abandoned halls, Ethan finds a gas station. He remembers that he was there with his girlfriend, and they got attacked. He saves his girlfriend from the bite by shooting the monster at his head. They are happy that Ethan can shoot because Emma was worried that his amnesia will harm them both. He couldn't take care of them, but this gunshot made them hopeful. However, the gunshot is never enough, so the monster wakes up and aims Ethan's arm. Luckily, he got saved then, but this flashback makes him trip. He seems fine, and they reach their place finally. May notices someone there and points the gun at him. He is a man hiding with a gun. He surrenders and wishes to get some food and rest. Although May doesn't trust him much, but he earns the trust by throwing the gun in front of them. The lady takes him in and serves food. They distribute the house chores, and soon the new man becomes a part of them. He helps Ethan in cutting woods, and May prepares meal. However, May was right about mistrusting him because he hides a weapon in his clothes while Ethan was busy in chores. Mayor still suspects him, but she misses that move of him. She prepares a lemonade for him and take them in for dinner. She plans something sneaky and sedates the food of him. She forbids Ethan to eat and pretend like he's not hungry. She knows that the man is up to something, so she plays the plan already. The man insists Ethan to eat, but he follows May's commands and leaves the dining table. He blacks out maybe because of amnesia or starvation, but May takes care of it, until the new man shows his true colors. He points the gun at her and sees her gun too. She gets the chance to stab him because he is sedated. He can't even stand firm, so she throws the radio at his head and makes him stop. In the meanwhile, she moves upstairs to find something for Ethan, but two gangsters break into the house. Ethan wakes up, but he is a weak man with no weapons. The new man also wakes up, but she suspects that May is lying. She kills their wives, him and Ethan's too. She's hiding a lot of stuff, so they tie her up to a chair and take Ethan room to find some proof. Two of new mans keep a watch on May, as she is not an easy lady. Soon, one of them leaves to search for the backyard. They search for everything, and shockingly, Ethan finds his girlfriend's necklace in the cupboard. He can't believe that the lady who serves and helps him a lot is a liar. Also, they find the belongings of numerous people in May's house and suspects that she killed all of them. However, he asks for the truth, and it seems that the new man is hiding something too. She reveals that Ethan is not sick but dead. It clearly sounds bizarre, but a little convincing when Ethan turns into a monster. The new man gets shot mysteriously and Ethan eats his flesh alive. In the meantime, the gangster who finds a creepy dungeon near her house unlocks it with a hammer. He is shocked to find that there is a man alive on the incubator inside. However, he can't see anything more because the whole cottage shatters into pieces. The lady installs the bomb inside, connecting with a wire, and he mistakenly steps on it, end up losing his life in the man on incubator. Ethan is gross to know that he has been eating humans. He also remembers that she felt the lady's blood on his face while in the birdhouse. That means the monster who attacked the lady and the young boy was him. He is shocked to know that and soon collapses. Thanks to his amnesia, he doesn't remember anything, but it was actually not amnesia. Anyhow, he wakes up and forgets everything, even the name of May. Although he has a new cast now with a green heart drawn on it. Its color changed now as it was red heart before, but he didn't notice. Hence, she takes him to hunt for the food, but he gets a flashback again. He sees her girlfriend when they moved to this house for help after the accident. They met a man cutting the woods with two children pointing the gun at them from the corners. He asks them for their belongings and makes them take off their clothes to verify any bite. They are clean, so he lets them in and offer food. Ethan is back to reality, and he asks May about all that. He also notices the heart turned green, and he is also starving. May asks him to focus on the hunt and feed so that the monster doesn't wake up. But he needs answers, so he asks about it. May finally reveals that she is Emma, who has been serving him for years. After the accident, they got attacked by a monster on the gas station, and he bites on Ethan's arm. Since then, Ethan has been eating people on fresh meat and remain young and healthy. He needs to feed on meat daily to keep the monster from waking up. She recalls him that the first day in this house was terrible. After the accident, when they ask for shelter, the man already suspects them. But she never let him speak much because he was hungry and looking for human flesh. But that man had guns. So she plays actfully. She asks for shelter and makes them prepare a meal for them, until Ethan needs some time. She takes him to the bathroom for cleaning the hands, but she needs Ethan to take breaths and wait for some time. Ethan is getting out of control, and he needs flesh right now. She comes back on the table, but the man knows now. He asks his wife and kid to move to the room so he can talk to Emma. This induces a fight, and he throbs Emma's head on the dinner table. She got a deep mark on her forehead and cheek, but she manages to fight back and crawl to the gun. Finally, she musters up her courage and shoots the man. He is dead. On the other hand, Ethan is upstairs in the bathroom hunting the sweet family. He has turned into a monster and eats both mother and the kid. He tears them apart and takes out their noodles out. He eats them like a real monster, but soon realizes the truth. He never wants to do that, but it is all uncontrollable. Emma has been taking care of him all these years by providing him the meat, killing people, animals. She also changes his cast daily and writes her name on it, so he lives with hope. She keeps his wound clean, so the infection never spreads. Finally, the cast is taken off, and the wound is nothing but the monster's bite with some green bushes on it. However, she never leaves his side even when he stops recognizing her. She never let him know the truth because he never remembers. It was not amnesia, but the monster's bite. The scene swirls back to the first when the young boy was committing suicide. It was Ethan who now wants to end everything happening. He shoots himself, but as per the monster's nature, he can never die. Hitting Skull is just buying some time. So Ethan wakes up after a few minutes and tries to shoot again, but Emma stops. They both kiss, and she let him do whatever he wants. So he eats her alive, and now they both are monsters. They are not holding it anymore and can live as they want. The movie ends with the hands of both monsters colliding each other. Emma is out of hell where she was all these years.